after that short break. Now we have a session on SDG 12 in global and national frameworks by Ms. Shaili Kedia. Ms. Shaili Kedia is the Associate Director of the Sustainable Development and Outreach Division at the Energy and Resources Institute, TERI, New Delhi. She will be leading the efforts on TERI's flagship initiative, the World Sustainable Development Summit. She has been with TERI since 2009, has more than 15 years of experience in policy research, advocacy, and capacity building. She is a board member of World Sustainable Development Forum. Among numerous initiatives, she was the principal investigator of the project on SDG 12, responsible consumption and production, supported by the United Nations Environment Programme under European Union Switch Asia initiative. Over to you, Ms. Shaili Kedia, for your session on SDG 12 in global and national frameworks.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to all the organizers for inviting me and for organizing such an important event, SDG wise. So this presentation is going to be on the global and national indicator frameworks for SDG 12, which is on sustainable consumption production, or in short, it's also alternatively known as responsible consumption and production. And I certainly feel that it has any consumption and production process has to be both sustainable and responsible. So this presentation is largely based from my perspective as a policy researcher, wherein we engaged with the United Nations Environment Program, and under this project funded by the EU Switch Asia, wherein we engaged with the Government of India ministries, including NITI Aayog, the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, which is the nodal agency of SDG 12, as well as Ministry of Statistics, Planning and Implementation, which is in charge of monitoring SDG 12. So just wanted to give like a little bit of context to that. Yes, so the full report can be accessed. I've just shared the link, and this presentation can be made available. I would like to acknowledge EU Switch Asia for the support, as well as the United Nations Environment Program for collaborations. Also, I would like to acknowledge my co-authors, Shavik Bhattacharya, Mani Juneja, and Monica Datta. Firstly, I would like to start by saying SDG 12, which is on sustainable consumption and production, can be said that it's a mother of all SDGs. It is one of the SDGs which has got very broad scope. In fact, as you can see on the screen, and this is just mapping the SDG 12 indicators, considering the National Indicator Framework of India, and I'm sure it's similar for other countries as well. Under SDG 12, in terms of monitoring and reporting, there are 9 ministries that are involved. And as the name suggests, it is not just limited to the Environment, Forest and Climate Change Ministry, or even in terms of waste management to the Urban Ministry, but also to a ministry such as Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So this is just to give you an indication about the wide scope of SDG 12. I mean, one of the reasons why SDG 12 is not so well understood is because of its wide scope. And one has to see that when one considers SDG 12, it is not about energy, which is better covered under SDG 7. It is a lot about natural resources. It is also about environmental externalities such as pollution and waste generation. Moreover, the entire life cycle of any economic process has to be considered, right from the extraction of raw materials in the form of mining, as well as processing of the same, manufacturing, turning it into an end product, as well, and then of course the distribution and the consumption, the end consumer aspect. Moreover, to actually realize SDG 12, one needs international cooperation, as well as a very, very strong role of governments, but also businesses and consumer. So, as one will see that, from the global indicator frameworks, at least in terms of the policy implications, right now still the policy is more focused on international cooperation and governments. And I think that the policy focus will have to eventually also consider businesses and consumer. So with this, I will quickly take you through, one of before starting the target-wise, indicators. There is one famous quote by Peter Drucker, which says that if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. So it is very essential that one actually measures the targets through indicators of SDG 12, as is the case with other SDGs as well. The need for indicator frameworks is you have to first measure, track, as well as improve. uh, Key considerations for indicator frameworks, that is both at the global and national level for SDG 12, should be policy life cycle. That is when we were to talk about governments, that includes right from recognizing an issue or agenda setting to preparing a policy or action plan, providing any regulatory support implementation, uh, and monitoring and evaluation. Perhaps, and also there has to be a match between the target and indicators. If you were to look at the global indicator framework, it has 11 targets, which is also the part of the national indicator framework, because the target part is fixed between the global and the national indicator framework. But one also has to recognize that the purpose of the global indicator framework and the national indicator framework is different. Global indicator framework is meant for monitoring the progress at the global level, and the national indicator framework is meant for progress but also to inform, not just only monitor progress, but also to inform policy making at the national level and subnational level. By subnational, I mean state and local governments, including cities. Practical aspects like data considerations also have to be considered, along with stakeholder engagement. So coming to target 12.1, now this is a more broad level target, which is basically on implementation of the 10-year framework program on sustainable consumption and production patterns, in which, the developed countries are expected to take a lead, and developing countries have to work more in terms of developing their capabilities. So for this, the global indicator is on the number of countries developing and implementing policy instruments aimed at SDG 12 or SCP, which is Sustainable Consumption Production. At the moment, for countries like India, this is a particular target which can be a little more developed in terms of national indicators. And so, at least from our perspective, we suggested that sustainable consumption, production, and action plan can be developed at the national and the state level. And again, this is considering aspects related to policy instruments. And by policy instruments, you can have regulatory instruments, you can have financial instruments, you can have information instruments. So there are these aspects that can be covered both at the national level and the state level. The other important aspect is the life cycle itself, right from extraction to the end consumption. These are all important aspects. Often one sees in policy, that one is just focusing, some governments focus more on the extraction part, and largely the focus is mostly on the waste part of things. So but I think there is a need to take a larger and a more holistic aspect to that. And SDG 12 has many themes, including natural resource management, sustainable public procurement, which is a very important market based market instruments to drive new markets for greener products. Also tourism, food waste management, education, and also science and technology collaboration. So for 12.2, just to take you through, it is more focused on the sustainable management and efficient use of natural resources. So again, now in this sense, at the global level, you have indicators like the material footprint and the domestic material consumption, and of course at the aggregate level, per capita level, and also per GDP level. In considering in the developing country circumstances, the percentage variation can be taken in terms of per capita natural resources. And for this, as far as our study, we think the government can start with 6 resources, including metal ores, non-metallic minerals, coal, petroleum, natural gas, as well as groundwater. So this is just something that we've suggested, that to retain the existing national indicator framework in India. But right now the data is not reported, so this can be started reporting at least for these 6 natural resource categories. For the third target under SDG 12, which is at the part of global indicator framework, and as mentioned, is fixed also for the national indicator framework, is that by 2020, and we are already past, we are in 2021, halve the per capita global food waste at the retail and consumer levels, and reduce food losses along production and supply chains. And again, here some of my previous speakers did highlight this particular aspect. Now, in the question, in developing countries actually become not so much about like the end consumer food waste, but also becomes about the very basic fact of food security and food availability itself. And so that is why we do kind of go with the existing national indicator framework of per capita food availability, but also in developing countries, because of the infrastructural issues, aspects such as post harvest storage and distribution losses are very important. And this is also an area where businesses and science, technology, innovation can play a much greater role. But along with that, we do acknowledge that there might be end food wastage, which will not be only factored in if one were to just limit the measurement to just storage and distribution, but also somewhere at a latter stage we can have the consumption, the end consumer part of it factored through a food waste index. So coming to the next target, fourth target, which is more on environmentally sound management of chemicals and waste, and this is a lot related to the international conventions related to hazardous chemical and waste, the Basel, the Rotterdam, the Stockholm Convention. So, and also the Minamata Convention on mercury. So, wherein like we agree with, like, because a lot of developing countries, they consider just the ratification of multilateral environmental agreement as a measure, but ratification is not enough, but, it can be measured more in terms of impact, or at least like national compliance rate, in terms of at least how far the reporting requirement has been fulfilled. And so we think that a little more on the compliance can be reported on. And of course, the hazardous waste generated per capita, that's an important indicator, which is one very concrete aspect is how this can be measured, and is already considered in the national indicator framework as well as the global indicator framework. Now, considering the 12.5 target, 12.5 is to substantially reduce waste generation by prevention, reduction, recycling, and reuse. Here in the global indicator framework just considers a very aggregate level national recycling rate. And here one can say that a country like India has gone much beyond that and is considering aspects related to municipal solid waste, but also considering the use of considering an indicator on single-use plastic. So I think this is a very important disaggregation which is made by, like, say, for example, at least in the Indian framework. But again, in terms of improvement, like countries can go to, instead of just like measuring the numbers, because just measuring the numbers doesn't kind of give a very clear picture, but rather talk about the treatment part or the segregation part. So and that in terms of the number of waste that is coming and the number of waste that is segregated or treated. So again, coming to 12.6, now this is a important target because in a way one can see that in the entire SDG framework, which has the 169 targets, this is the only target amongst all the 17 sustainable development goals and all the targets across all the SDGs that has a direct implication for companies or businesses. And this target says encourage companies, especially large and transnational companies, to adopt sustainable practices and to integrate sustainability information into their reporting cycle. So right now what we see in the global indicator framework, and I'm being critical of the global indicator framework, it only focuses on the number of companies publishing sustainability reports. Publishing sustainability reports is not enough to say that you are adopting sustainable practices. Now this is again one aspect where, at least as far as country policy, and this is just an example of India, is that at least an example of another concrete action is a CSR. And there are laws in India which mandates CSR actions by companies. So again, that can be reported on along with the business responsibility and sustainability reporting, so that can be measured. And but then again, this again, since this is the only and only indicator, only target across all the 169 targets of SDG that has a direct implications for businesses and companies, and this target is something which needs to be strengthened much further, both in the global indicator framework as well as the national indicator framework. In terms of 12.7, again, this is a very important, I would say, and one of the most transformational targets, especially when one is to talk about markets, driving new markets for green products. So this particular target is on public procurement practices by countries. And here again, this can again be for implemented at the national level, but if and what were to talk about a national indicator framework, can be also considered at the state level, the municipal level, as well as specifically for public enterprises. So again, I think that again, this one is a very important indicator and is usually under the purview of the Ministry of Finance. At least as far as India goes, the Ministry of Finance, under its under its GFR, or the General Financial Rules, does encourage procurement of greener products. But then the product category can be expanded, because right now it is mostly limited to electrical appliances, which have B-star rating. But linked to this particular aspect of public procurement is aspects related to eco-labeling and reliable eco-labelings, because unless and until that information is available in the market, a procurement decision, not just by government, by any buyer, even a common consumer, would become difficult. So now this again is to say that there is a gap here, a very big gap in both the global and the national indicator framework in terms of eco labels. So this is one aspect that can be strengthened, in the global indicator framework as well as the national indicator framework. Target 12.8 is basically that people everywhere have relevant information awareness for sustainable development and lifestyles in harmony with nature. I know my previous speakers in the previous session have also spoken about this, and this is a very important aspect. However, to be very critical about the existing global indicator and the national indicator frameworks, one sees that it is almost conflated with school and formal education. And however, this is not the case. There are people who are not formal in the formal education system, so there has to be means, including popular the information communication tools, to reach out to other people. So we again propose another expanded again another indicator related to awareness activities on sustainable development by the Ministry of, it could be a Ministry of Broadcasting, this is just a case of India, and the Environment Ministry. So again, just limiting this particular indicator about awareness to just schools or even formal education system is not adequate, especially for considering not just in developing country but even in developed countries, that there are consumers who have to be influenced even beyond their school or formal education system. Of course, that is very important, but also there has to be more role of the media, the mainstream media, television media, radio media, of course print media, even the internet. So that aspect right now is missing in both the, especially the global indicator framework, and this has to be kind of strengthened. uh, Coming to the three enabling targets, 12.8, 12.B, 12.C. Now again, this one is a target more from the perspective, if you see, support developing countries. This is support that is supposed to come to developing countries from developed countries. Now here I'd like to be very, very critical. If you were to just look at the very basics of this concept of sustainable consumption and production, what one sees is the global indicator framework is just focused on renewable energy, wherein it kind of completely defeats the essence of sustainable consumption production when you're saying that it is so much more. It's about natural resources, it's about the entire life cycle of a product, and just to reduce it to install renewable energy capacity, which anyway is being measured under SDG 7, is a little bit, it's doing a great amount of disservice to this particular goal. In terms of the national indicator framework, right now it is aligned with the global indicator framework, but as mentioned, there's a lot more aspect that can be done. And even for developing countries, there is a lot of South-South cooperation initiatives. In India, for example, the Ministry of External Affairs runs the ITEC and SCAP programs. There is also our Ministry of Science Technology, which is engaged in collaborative projects, international cooperation projects. So again, both in terms of North-South and South-South, there are much more concrete indicators that can be measured. If not, at least at the national level, by measuring these indicators, we can actually improve a lot more aspects related to science, technology, and innovation. So also, like, for example, looking at the union budget allocation for research, development, and innovation related activities. Similarly, also at the state level. So definitely one can say that, at this stage, the global indicator framework does not do any justice, rather does a great disservice to the entire essence of SDG 12. So again, here I'd like to be a little more critical of the global and global indicator framework as well. So in terms of the second enabling target, 12.B, this is more related to sustainable tourism. Now, again, like here again, I'd like to be critical about the global indicator framework. Just accounting, doesn't really sort of help. And there has to be a distinction between sustainable tourism and ecotourism. And both can't be just like conflated, because ecotourism is a very specific area in eco-sensitive areas, whereas sustainable tourism can be in any area, including inner city. So again, this aspect, even in case of informing national policies, can follow a policy life cycle approach and can be monitored at the national as well as the state level. Coming to the last target under the SDG framework of SDG 12, that is 12.C, it's basically on rationalizing inefficient fossil fuel subsidies that encourage wasteful consumption by removing market distortion in accordance with national circumstances. Now, here again, but if one were to look at the larger essence of SCP and the aspect of internalizing externality, that means doing anything, even if you're taxing something. So it's not just about reducing subsidy, but you can also tax environment unfriendly activities, or activities that generate pollution, or in other words, more technical terms, environmental externalities. Now here again, countries like India has a specific coal cess, which is collected per unit of coal and lignite consumed. So this particular aspect can be brought in. And so this is just something to say that you're not just about because when you're talking talking about internalizing externalities, not only about subsidies, it's also about taxing. It's also about internalizing of externalities through taxes and these measures. So so this is again one thing I'm being more critical about the global indicator framework, that this is an aspect that can be considered better. Again, just as a very, very broad level summary of what I've presented, that firstly, sustainable consumption production should not be reduced to energy only, because it is, in a way, if you're talking about SDG 12, talk about the unique aspects of SDG 12. What are the unique aspects of SDG 12 is to consider life cycle implications for natural resources and all the activities related to upstream, which is extracting, mining, midstream, processing, manufacturing, as well as the end downstream, which is the end consumer, the selling and consumer, the branding, the advertising. So it is very important to consider those aspects and not sufficient to consider energy, which is much better covered under SDG 7. Again, there is a need for stronger accountability from businesses, again, working across the entire life cycle. Reporting isn't sufficient. And again, like I've mentioned, and again, like to re-emphasize that that target 12.6 is the only target across all the 169 targets of SDG that has a direct implication for businesses. And so this aspect is very important and needs to be strengthened in terms of both international policy, international cooperation, national policy, subnational policy, local policy. The aspects of eco labels at the moment in the global indicator framework and the national indicator framework is missing. This has to be brought in, because unless and until this information is available, choices become difficult, whether it is public procurement, that is large scale public procurement to drive markets, or it is to the end consumer. So again, engaging more with the end consumer, and again here, not just saying only through school education system, but through eco labels, again through again responsible advertising. That's a very important part. Advertising business is such a like huge business that has to play a very important role in terms of sustainable consumption production. So it is really like that segment, the advertising segment, has to play a very important role. Again, like in terms of lifestyles, we can all keep talking about lifestyles, but it is not enough to just go and switch to public transport. And lifestyles have to be influenced in a responsible manner by the advertising industry. Again, like I need to sort of say that there are huge actors here that need to play a larger role if one were to really really realize SDG 12 or sustainable consumption production. And it's not just enough to measure numbers or even just putting in place a policy. It's important to measure impact if we were to really improve. So with this, I'd like to thank all of you for listening to the presentation. And thank you so much for everyone. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Shaili Kedia, for that excellent and detailed session. And we also wish to thank the Energy and Resources Institute, TERI, for supporting us by being a partner in the event. Thank you so much.